Hey, here I am again for the end of this series about the sign's energy. And guess what? Kept the best for the last. It's Pisces. So I'm a Pisces. I got Mercury in Pisces. I got Saturn in Pisces. Everything in Pisces. I'm a fucking fish. So in honor of that, I shall light up a doobie as I'm speaking, because you know what they say, us Pisces like to indulge in the world of illusions and fantasies and drugs, and I'll touch that subject a little bit because I don't necessarily feel they're illusions per se. So let me just enjoy a good drag of this first. Alright, so what is Pisces? Pisces being the 12th sign, they're the last of the cycle. So they kind of like regroup every single one of the energies of the Zodiac. They're a mutable sign, which means they're adaptable, which means they kind of deal with how the mind works, with how we are able to make the best out of situations, you know. They're a water sign. They're represented by two fish, so of course they're a water sign, you know, whereas Cancer is like this little crab. It's just going like by the shore, putting its like a little toe in the water to kind of test the emotional feel, the emotional water. And where Scorpio is like a understanding from like, I don't know, this internal like boiling water, this swamp, this dark place, the depths of the sea, the true core of things. Pisces is more like, oh, like I'm traveling in these waters and like I follow the flow because I'm a fish and that's what I have to do. And I mean, some people would say that they either can go they can go with the flow or they can go upstream, but I don't feel that they really go upstream, or like not for long, you know. It's mostly that they're able to change the flow of things. Pisces energy is like let's say you got Sun in Pisces or Mercury in Pisces. All right, I'm gonna talk about what I got because I know that there will always be these two flows, these two fish that you could put them as yin and yang, you could put them as going with the flow or upstream, but you know, everything is in the flow. But it's like internally Pisces could be thinking something, or they could represent something, and their surroundings will be a reflection of their inner subconscious. And at the same time, it's hard to tell what is, if it's either that or that. And at the same time, their subconscious will be a reflection of what's surrounding them. So that's why people often say that it's important for Pisces to like learn how to distinguish between their own energy and the energy of the people. And I mean, if they can understand that gift that they have of like being able to sense things like that and understand what's in their mind, what's in their ego, through how other people are acting, through the synchronicities that they see, like they could become like good wizards. They could become astrologers. They could, you know, since they're able to like kind of get insights like that without using their intellect, you know, like it's just like the water that they have, the feelings that they have, the intuition that they have, like they're gonna see a reflection of that water, of that feeling in their surroundings. So they'll be able to like make analogies comparing those, and they'll be able to like guide themselves emotionally and guide others like that. Okay, so Pisces is opposite to Virgo, you know, and where Virgo is really about communication, and saying things in an efficient way and being sure that like little details are taken care of in a practical sense for growth to be possible in the physical world. Pisces isn't so much inclined in details. They can sometimes like, especially if you got Mercury in Pisces, they can sometimes go and focus tunnel vision too much on certain details, but they're more vague, you know, they're more with the flow. They don't need to say things really and describe them precisely because the feeling is there, and the feeling speaks better for them than just the explanation of the thing. So yeah, Virgo kind of wants to create a partnership, whereas Pisces is looking more to create a union with God, perhaps a union with anything, you know, and with something probably higher than them, probably like pretty high right now though, but something that's like far out there, you know. They're represented by Jupiter, just like Sag, which gives them like an inclination to like live their life through their belief system, to want to travel, to want to migrate elsewhere, but they're also represented, and it kind of gives them like a connection to like higher knowledge also in a certain way, but they're also represented in the Western system at least by Neptune. Neptune is is often said to be like the planet of illusions. It can kind of throw some illusions, but I mean, the way I see it, and I might be illusion because I'm a Pisces, so the way I see it is like Mercury could give its illusions also, way more than Pisces. It could create boundaries. It could create you know, false notions about things as it analyzes through the details and categorizes things. It creates illusions. So why would we say that Neptune is the planet of illusion? Well, you know, it's because the illusion that it gives is that there is a magic happening, or that there is a big synchronicity. But at the same time, it's a connection to like divine love, or like it's a natural universal compassion, you know, that's shared like with people. So like, you know, like I guess since this compassion is there, and like Neptune represents the dissolving of boundaries, and you know, it could manifest into like people kind of using them at time for like their good side, because they don't like to put up boundaries. They're like, you know. And at the same time, the way I feel it, it's like, oh, people are like, oh, Pisces must be careful and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, but, you know, Jupiter kind of like pays me back, and Neptune just takes care of me. So like, even if like I know you're lying and I'm still helping you, like I'm coming from like a place where like nothing bad can really happen to me. And that's kind of like what's naive about Pisces. And I guess you could also see that in a fish, right? It doesn't really anticipate it's going to die. Like, sure, it's got some survival mechanism, but it doesn't necessarily like you know, it doesn't think about that. It just goes with the flow. Like the mystical aspect of Neptune gives like this protecting force to them. It makes them good healers. It gives perhaps a little an aura of like security or reassurance to those around, so people could gravitate towards that if they need that. Yeah, Neptune also rules the drugs and the escapism and escaping from reality. But I could also see the drugs as like the dissolving of boundaries, right? If you smoke some weed, if you take like some psychedelics, like even if you like drink, or if you like, this is perhaps less spiritual, but even if you drink or like take like harder drugs, like you're still dissolving boundaries. So you know, it's bad. It could be seen as illusion sometimes, but like if you're able to use this Neptunian power to like act on Jupiter, to like get a sense of like a belief system that Jupiter wants to give, and a certain moral code, and if you infuse it with Neptune's energy, which brings love, compassion, a certain understanding, and you don't use the dissolving of boundaries to lie to people and to hide stuff, if you use it to break dogma. Whoa, the incense is making like this crazy smoke pattern. Whoa. I got opium incense also because I like it. I feel it's a good incense for Pisces. It's kind of like, I don't know. I like the image of opium. Like when I saw it at this store, I was like, oh, this is awesome. But yeah, if you use Neptune instead to like dissolve the dogma about how you think things should be, like, yo, you could like make advancements, right? Pisces is just after Aquarius. So as much as like they have every sign, the energy that are the closest, or that is the closest, is Aquarius. Aries is near also, but at the same time, they're very far. They're 11 signs behind. And they're the next sign. So Pisces isn't there yet. So you could see that perhaps in their lack of initiative sometime, or their lack of energy, you know? And Pisces creates the self. What am I saying? Aries creates the self and Pisces dissolves it. Like they have to learn again how to create an entity for themselves if they want to function in this world, which is why Aries is the first sign in this incarnation on this planet, in this solar system, because, you know, it creates a sense of self, an ego. But Pisces dissolves that. Pisces comes after Aquarius, as I said. So Aquarius, you know, is very detached. Unlike Pisces, Aquarius doesn't feel as come on, like everybody feels, but Aquarius is not like so much like entangled with their feelings. Like they understand them and process them from like an intellectual reasoning. But Aquarius still kind of like studies philosophy, religion in a sense, or like they study like different structures, and then they build new things upon those. So I feel like Aquarius is like at the same kind of stage as Pisces, or like they can kind of see the same thing in a way, like if they give attention to it. But Aquarius won't dive in it. They won't be the fish that's like, that has to flow with all the current that comes with it, with the spiritual baggage, or with like the, you know, they can kind of be like more unattached to it, but still carry it with them as intellectual wisdom that they can share and translate or give to other people in this incarnation, so that, you know, dogmas could be broken and that the world could be a little bit less conservative. Enabling the human race to prosper. So yeah, that's kind of like Aquarius, which is more detached, right? Which is more like, oh, like, it's okay, like I understand it, but maybe like I don't want to fully trust it yet. I don't want to fully be in it because I have to change things in like the third dimension first. Well, what is that? Okay. Oh, this kind of distracted me. See, this is what I kind of understand also about Pisces, or Mercury in Pisces. Like I could be speaking to someone, and like something happens that makes me feel, that makes me change emotional flow. And since my Mercury is in Pisces, but like you could kind of see that with other Pisces planets too. But since my Mercury in Pisces is in Pisces, the way I act, or in this case Mercury, the way I think, is going with my emotions. So as soon as something changes that, it'll completely change my thought process. So it makes us like, you know, like if I'm going to speak to you about something, and it's gonna make me, like, as I'm speaking and as I'm following the flow, I'm realizing that I'm not fully okay with the emotional implication of like saying that thing to you. Once I realize that, I'll change flow. I can change flow. Like it's a form of protection. It helps, you know, it helps create the identity of the Pisces as to do that. So after that, they can use Neptune, and Neptune, after they've changed the flow, enables them to like change the conversation without the person necessarily like noticing that anything happened if they're not coming really from the same place. It's like, you're talking about something, and then as they talk about it, they realize like they don't want to dive in that. They don't want to go down that waterfall, you know? So they just change flow. They just changed flow. So you won't notice really that they're not following the same flow. If they can use their Neptune in a good way, it'll just be like, oh yeah, have you seen? But it'll be in a really subtle way, kinda, because you know they come from the sea. And I see also the illusions that they could cast on people as just, you know, like the school of fish that has many fish, and like, this is crazy. They can actually like take shapes of different fish and be like a shark, but they're just really a bunch of little fish. Like, these fish are crazy. Like, it's awesome. I feel like Pisces can kind of do that. They can shape into like different forms because they understand people's emotion. They've got more than one flow, so they can always like kind of shock and make people laugh like that. But they also come from every sign. So they've understood, like, this almost sounds arrogant, but like the Piscean energy has understood all the other signs. It's been through them. It kind of had to go through them to evolve, you know. This is how I feel a little bit. So, like they make good mimickers. Like, they're able to like do impressions, like impersonations, or, you know, like they're able to act like they're someone else and like make it seem like very vivid. Like, they're good comedians like that because they naturally know how to rock the tides, you know. What else? Yeah, so I feel like this is it. So I just wanted to add a few things. So Pisces, in Pisces, Venus is exalted. So opposite to Virgo, where it's in its detriment, in its fall, where it's looking for detail and it has a big list of expectation to like, so that they can fully allow themselves to feel love. Venus and Pisces are just general like Venusian, the Venusian aspect of Pisces. It makes them like selfless in love and non-judgmental and open to understand all the different types of love that is possible, like between every beings on earth, like animals, humans, treat everybody with like a compassionate, selfless love. They can sometimes be a little bit naive, like when like somebody would like to use them, they need to be careful and listen to their spider senses or their Pisces senses. Usually they can like discern things very well because they're always in the realm of the subconscious. They always come from a watery place. Water holds weight. You know, water is a very strong element. Water is a very strong element. Fire too, but water, in like, it contours, it goes. What the fuck is that sound? It goes around emotional blockages. Water in the physical world just is able to penetrate through pretty much anything. It gets, it gets through stuff. It's able to like destroy rocks, to like shape them in different ways. So water has even a power over the earth element over time. And even if it's boiled, water still has like this power. It's a little bit more volatile, but it has a bigger area of effect. Which can be bad for them, or it can be good. Don't throw tantrums if you're a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Use your wider area of effect to open up people and make them feel good, or you know. The body part that they represent are the feet, so I guess I could make them good reflexologists. And it's interesting because every part of the body is linked to every sign of the zodiac, and Pisces is linked to every sign of the zodiac. So it's like by having all these reflexology points in the feet, I can make an analogy and like feel that it gives them an understanding of all these energies at once, and it makes them sensitive in all these areas. So like maybe their constitution also could be a little weaker. Depending on what decan, because the first decan and the second decan of Pisces usually like I should make a video about decans, but usually maybe I'll do a series of videos about the decans, or a video too, I don't know. But the first decan of Pisces is Neptune, the second is Cancer, and the third is Scorpio. People who have placements in the first two decans usually have like a weaker or smaller constitution. They're like the typical like little Pisces with like little eyes. And if you go in the last decan of Pisces, represented by Scorpio or Mars, it gives them a little bit more of a tone up, you know, or makes them maybe a little bit taller or more prone to like I don't know, have like a better physical self, since Mars represents the body, and maybe more energetic also because it's raw masculine energy. Yeah. I could also link Pisces to like the pineal gland, because I feel like they link up all the zodiac together. It's like they kind of tie it up. So by linking to like the head of Aries, which is like the sign just after, they kind of make the aura, or like the torus, like connect, you know, from like the tip of the toe to the back of the head. I mean, there are other root centers, but that's one of them. Yeah, I'm gonna be making more videos soon about different things. If you're one of like my my small amount of viewers at this time, you could recommend me a subject or something, or I'll just do as I please. But if you could shoot me an arrow, I'll just put a little bit of Neptune on there.